You usually sleep this late ba?
I usually, when I'm working, I sleep at 8 a.m. or
What?
10. I'm so hyped up.
Hold on.
So I don't really get sleepy
Really?
when
So
I'm working. When I'm
during,
working.
yeah, when you're painting, right? So the whole night you're awake.
Yeah, the whole day. Sometimes I'm awake 24 hours. I sleep very little.
Uh-huh.
That's why I'm small and I'm thin.
Right.
I never grew. I'm so small.
Right. Well, I couldn't tell at this. So that's during what's the longest time na you weren't able to get some sleep because of your paintings?
Oh, sometimes I go like 3 days with very little sleep, like 2 hours, 3 hours.
So for the
On
whole
the fourth,
day,
on the fourth day, I'm a monster. So
right?
I need to rest.
Really? So you mean for 3 days, 2 hours lang ang tulog mo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially when when you're working, your mind is bothered. Sometimes you leave the painting like in the middle of like one area na hindi mo natapos, but then you're so tired na you can't do it. So still you can't sleep because you're thinking about it. So yung
Right.
anxiety mo tumataas.
Right.
So that's why I can't really sleep when I'm working because my mind is always awake.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, yeah. I'm worried. It's not all concept of inside. It's worry. It's really anxiety. Did I get it right? Did I reach my standard? I mean, is this good for me na? Sometimes I would let it go even though it's not that good ba para sa ako ah.
Yes.
But then it really disturbs me. It really bothers me.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's normal sa artist na in your case you can't really get satisfied sa paintings mo, di ba? Like you have to look back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. I think every artist has his own standard of aesthetics, standard
Yes.
of yung tamang feeling na if you hit that, then you're good. It's eureka.
Yep.
But sometimes for every painting, the different taste, different length of time where you have to work on something before you reach eureka stage.
Yep.
But some paintings are really like, oh wow, I got it. Sometimes you think it's okay, this is an easy painting. And then when you start, no, it's not. It's a hard headed child.
But to some degree, I guess architects can also relate. But can you say now when you say it's done, it's really based on parang intuition na and feeling that you
Yeah.
feel that it's
Yeah.
already good, right?
Based on your whatever system you have inside,
Right.
whatever, I mean, those, you have a set of whatever policy, creative
Right.
policy, or whatever you call your standard. Once you once you hit that, and so it's done. It is done. Once it's done, you know that it is done. You're happy, you're whole, and you're not ashamed to put it out in the world.
Can you say na is it mainly based do you judge it mainly on what you feel with your painting or kasali na yung aesthetics, beauty,
All
etc. Message,
everything.
everything.
Yeah, everything. Like have I have I been able to say what I want to say, or yung bang gusto kong ilagay na
Uh,
communicate ko ba na
yes.
maayos. It's all very it's all focused on yung very personal set of standards, no?
Right.
Like mm-mm. Like before you paint, you put an object there, and suddenly you see something, and then you say, okay, so this is what this this piece is trying to say, or this is the direction it wants to go. At the end of the painting, you ask yourself, or when you look at the painting, you you ask yourself if napuntahan niya ba yung gusto niyang puntahan, or nahatid ko ba siya dun sa dapat siyang dun sa destination na dapat nandun siya. But sometimes in the process, that initial idea or concept suddenly changes. And so the artist also has to be um, very dynamic and biomorphic with regards to initial concept. You have to be able to let go because another idea came forth in on canvas. So you also have to be able to play with whatever is presented. So you cannot be so hard headed. I
Right.
mean, very insistent on what you have started, and then see otherwise it doesn't become art. Art is really, I mean, the whole duration, no, like from start to finish, one painting, it's a constant conversation. I mean, in my case, it's a constant conversation between your artwork and yourself, between your figures, the figures that you put on canvas, and yourself. So if she doesn't want to go there, then it's up to the artist whether she takes her there nonetheless, or she goes with the figure or with the color, with the grass. In my case, sometimes a drawing iba yung grass, but then eventually in the process it just becomes different. So it's a constant dance between your art piece and
And
you.
yes.
Mhm. Yeah, you cannot be so hard-headed kasi masyadong titigas.
Right, right.
Yeah, creativity is I think it's all about that.
Mhm.
Creativity is all about conversing. It's a conversation between your object, which is art, painting in my case, and your mind, body, soul.
As long na you'll get to the piece that you are really happy with right in the end.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I say I don't have a preconceived idea before I start a painting. I just have a snippet of an idea. Like, okay, I wanna tackle love. But then how I get there, how I bring myself to do it, I don't know until I start painting. And then I know. But if in the end it doesn't turn out that way, then I'm fine because it's yun nga, it's a conversation, it's a negotiation constantly all throughout the process. It's a negotiation between you and your art piece.
Alam mo, there's definitely similarities rin sa architecture and art because
Mm,
sa architecture, of course, perhaps we already, again, this might differ from architect to architect. During the process, for sure, na change yung design during the design process. And then when we reach towards the construction, meron rin
mhm.
changes that we have to make kasi once we're
Yeah,
there, parang napansin namin, you know what, this doesn't feel right. Yung the size of the window or the ceiling height,
yeah,
whatever. So
yeah.
yeah, I guess to some degree.
Yeah. I think all creative process
Right,
is similar,
right.
whether or well, I don't know if you can do that with surgery, but you still have to listen. You still have to know your environment. You still have to know you still have to listen to your patient. You still have to look at the terrain. You still have to work within the parameters of what is given in front of you. But then, I mean, siguro mas freer lang yung artists and those working in a directly creative pursuits, no?
How many shows na have you done ba?
I think eight or
Ah,
or 10. I'm not sure. I'm not counting. Not really particular
really?
with, yeah. I mean, counting solo shows. I lost track, but I think siguro 8 or 10.
And are all those solo shows or mixed? I mean,
Eight or 10 solo shows. The group ones are a lot.
that's really
Um,
good.
because I think I started painting professionally, meaning to say yung nagjo-join na ng exhibit as early as high school because I come from a family of artists.
Ah,
So my dad, my mom, no, papa na ako, and then mama, and then all my siblings are painters. My father is a painter, my mother is a painter. So buong pamilya. So when we were younger, back in high school, early high school, first year siguro ko, it was my dad who organized all the shows, and then yun sumasali kami. So that's where I started joining exhibits, like my professional journey as
Nice.
an art, my journey as a professional artist.
But
Um,
how long was that? How far back was that?
in the 90s
Hold on.
or mid 90s, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
and
so
then
that's
we did a
about
family show in CCP back in 94 or 93.
right.
Mm-mm.
So that's about
So
20, 30 years ago.
yeah, yeah.
Wow, you've been an artist a long time na rin. But I guess
I
it's
am. I have been. I mean, all of us, I mean, all my siblings, we've been artists since God knows when. Like, yun, very young. So I cannot really say na, okay, but how is it? It's so biomorphic. It somewhat doesn't have any hard rules. So, I mean, most things are allowed. Um, if you want to do a performance art, if you want to join a band or create a band, actually, we created a band, me and my dad. Then me and my sister were the vocalists.
nice.
We wrote songs. So it was really a creative journey back then until now. It really stayed with me how we used to live back in Zamboanga, kung ano man yung nangyayari doon within the household, and then until now nothing has changed with my life. I still am who I was, so never diverted. Oh, although nag-divert ng konti, pero it's just parang like a small moonlighting. I studied education. I took the boards for teachers. And then I went into filmmaking in 2018. But then that filmmaking is still visual arts. So it's really not far. So yun, it's basically ito lang. Ito lang. This is the path that I have been treading ever since time immemorial.
And does your father and I guess your siblings still do painting up until now?
Yeah, yes, all of us. I mean, my sister in Dumaguete, she just opened her solo exhibit as well.
Nice. Do you find similarities, similar themes in your art since you grew up together? Commonality
Um,
there,
Surprisingly, if you look at all our artworks, it's really different from each other.
right?
I don't know why.
Well, I guess
Parang,
it's
but then
creative.
I think the commonality is that we always look within when we do art. Like the self is always the reference point. I think that's what's common across all family members. We always tackle personal stories.
Right.
So yun lang. But the style is, everyone has his own creative language.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned um, about the self, about personal stories, because I guess I'm curious what are the factors that affected the change in your art?
Okay. Um. So like I told you that I started painting seriously mga early 90s. Like I was intentional about it. And then I was a bit, I think I was influenced by the works of women painters, especially Anita Magsaysay Ho. So my earlier works were Tres Maria, mga women, no? Tres Maria. Also, I was very heavily influenced by the works of my dad. He's a figurative painter, so figurative din yung ginagawa ko. So, but then as early as that time, no, I have been interested in the female form. So, parang never ako nagpinta ng lalaki. So I had to know why along the way. But then at first, when I went into mga Tres Maria, I was young. It was it was about style. Ano lang siya. Uh, ano pa siya ngayon. So Tres Marias doing daily experiences. So beside our house, there's a rice field. Tapos pumupunta kami doon. So yung mga paintings ko are always Tres Marias in the rice field, playing with the birds. And I think I went back to the rice field ngayon. Yeah, so yun yung ano, very young, very naive, ganun lang, pretty paintings, yung ganun. And then somewhere into college, I got, syempre, with all the identity crisis and then existential questions. I started getting introduced to philosophy, early college, um, and religion. No, I mean all worldviews like
Well,
Hinduism,
so
Buddhism.
way back in college, you already had existential questions.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
started
deep.
reading na eh. I started reading Buddhism. I started reading Hinduism, and then I used to be Christian. So parang bakit to? So you start questioning, and then my art shifted from very nice, pleasant barrio life. I got interested in. I went into, I don't know how, but one night I was imagining I was asleep and the house was dark, and then I imagined that my paintings were coming down from the canvas. So I think that's the beginning of my surrealist mind. Because after that, I started painting medyo surreal na and very symbolic, but heavily influenced on mysticism. So meron akong mga imageries like the lotus, the chalice, the enneagram. So all of those things heavily influenced by Eastern philosophy, Buddhism, and all the self, the chakra, and all those concepts. So it's all in the artworks. Plus, since I am so always looking into myself as a reference book, so pinaris ko yun doon. What I am, where I am, my stage in life at that point, and then merged it with Eastern philosophy, Eastern thinking. Then I gave birth to a painting which is with Maris right now. It's a big painting. It's called the Golgotha. The Golgotha is the crucifixion of Christ. But then in that painting, I will show you later. That's what I consider one of my best works. I mean, one of my strongest works is a earlier it's a painting of a female Christ, and then with 33 women all around her. And then there's the two thieves, also women, and they are all in the water. So again, the Eastern philosophy, Eastern thought of water as symbol of cleansing. I mean, we also have that in Christianity, and I think all the other worldviews. No, I mean, philosophically, water is always a symbol of purification, um, cleansing, and renewal of birth. Ganon. So, yun ang title ng work. It's called Golgotha's. And then I think that is really, that work is really conveying the age that I was in and the crisis that I was facing during that time. It's identity crisis. It's who am I? All those questions really got jumbled in your head, and then you're an artist. What do you do? So you paint about it. It's a huge painting. I did that when I was 18 years old, and it's a very powerful work.
How big was this painting? And it was in the
It's
surrealist style.
23 panels. It's like 5 feet by 9.
Wow, that big, huh?
that big, that big, that big, that I was so, that, that's how I was so consumed by this idea that I must be something. So, but then again, Golgotha is very symbolic, symbolic of my life, symbolic of my story.
Right.
It's my personal story told in a very symbolic way. So after that, after all those mga ano, but then the surrealism was already there all throughout my career until now. But then you fluctuate. Sometimes you're creatively strong, and sometimes you just go flatline. There's nothing coming out. So there were moments when you try to paint. There were moments after that when I would still try to paint, pero yung lumalabas is not as good until um I became a mother. And then I painted another the first series of Mother and Child, which was in the negative light. The mother being the slave of the child, the child being this little monster who molds you into something else which you never knew you're capable of. So yun. So nagkaroon ako ng face na ganon. And then I started questioning again my role as a woman in the society. So I had another series devoted to that. I did a show in Cube. It's called The Watch Woman. So yun yung mga paintings, woman as warriors, woman as torturers, or the one tortured. So yun yung tinatackle ng that particular series. And then I went flatline again until my second son died in 2015. So those are the work that I put out sa Cube. It's called Still. That's the title of the exhibit. And then it's a series of paintings done in a very naive way, mother and child, and then tinatahi ko yung mother to the child. They're intertwined. I lost him, so you wanna, if you could only sew him to you, then yun. So until now, it's still painful. But then, though those works were also beloved.
Well, I guess I have to say, I'm sorry for your loss, in your second son, right?
I lost him in 2015. In 2020, I released a film entitled Ola. It's it's about his story, and then that film won best short in the Gawadurian. So from painting, I felt maybe I haven't said enough about it, although I've devoted 3 years making art around that story from 2016, 17, and then 18, 2 years making paintings around that story. Felt na maybe subconsciously you feel that you haven't said enough about it and you still want to say things about it. You still want to tell the story again and again and again. And then I wrote the script and I made the film. And then suddenly, when the film came out, I felt that it is done. It is done. I've
Closure,
said
right?
it. And there's no closure there. But then it's done. I have said it. I
Right.
have said I have said about my love. I have spoken about my yearning, my longing. I have spoken. It's out there. I put it out. So that was in 2020. And then 2020, 2021, 22, I was busy with film. And then 2022, I painted again, like seriously. And that's when Baggage Revolution came out. These paintings na. This happened really accidentally because I made a drawing. And then on my palette were red paint. I mean, random lang. And then I started painting. Oh my God, Eureka. How about a red painting? And then they just developed into this now. But I have been at this since 2022.
Mhm.
And I'm not done yet. I mean, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, in your next show, are you still putting out the same themes or?" So I don't know, but right now, I tell you, I'm not done yet. I am not done yet telling this story. I am, I am an obsessive person. When I want something, I say it again and again. I want to do it again and again and again until I don't know from where it comes from until a shift just happens. But I cannot direct the course like consciously. I cannot direct the course of my art. It happens along with the crisis. It happens along with the life story, and whatever color, whatever imagery, whatever theme would come out of the painting. I really don't know how it happens. When it happens, I say Eureka, I found it. But have I been looking for it? I don't know. But when I say Eureka, it doesn't mean that I have been looking for it and now I found it. Then Eureka. It says Eureka. It's nice. It's good. I have not been looking for it, but then it's here. Now I know that this is good. Now I know that maybe I have been looking for it. So it's really that. I am dull that way. I I am very reliant on my instinct and my intuition. I cannot really plan my course in painting. I cannot
Right.
like ask me, okay, in your next show, what color would you use? I mean, would it still be grass? I cannot answer you that. It will depend when I am facing the canvas.
Right. And alam mo, I think that's one of the things that makes the good art pieces when it's a reflection talaga of the artist itself. Kasi I've seen like well, they talk about the stories, again, the stories behind their art, and it's almost like you can really feel the authenticity in their art because it's basically a part of them, diba? And it was
I don't
inspired
know
by
how
their
to do
stories.
art any other way, Lionel. I don't know. This is what I learned from my dad. This is what my dad has imparted sa amin before, that art comes from the soul. You have to go in, and then listening to him in your young mind, I was thinking, okay, I get it. But now after 20 years of hearing that, I realized I never got it. I never understood it. Like, what is that what do people mean when they say know yourself? What do people mean when they say get into yourself? It's not as easy as simply like thinking about yourself or going. It's not. It's a whole process. It's a lifetime journey pala. Like it ngayon parang okay, I have a different meaning of getting into oneself. It's a different definition now. It's really being very honest, and even honesty when I was 18 is different from the honesty now.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to be an artist, and at the same time it's really rewarding to be an artist. I love being an artist. Sometimes it's painful. Painful.
Yeah, and yeah, before I want to ask you further dito sa, well, your current art pieces. So you're interested as well in Eastern philosophy, you mentioned, because that's also some area that I also happen to
Not
be
anymore
interested.
now.
Not
I
now,
but I think
back
it's
then.
but I think it's already in my
Right,
system.
right.
It has made me who I am. But I graduated AB philosophy from Ateneo de Zamboanga in college. So I
Ooh.
that the reason why I took up philosophy is because I thought it would help my art. It's not really to earn after graduating or to have a job. It's really okay. This will inform my art.
And did it help your art in any
Of
way?
course. Yeah. Yeah.
Like in what way can you say
Spend
specifically?
my art now. I mean, in all the ways, like even in the process, no, yung process of art making, getting into yourself, know thyself. Who said that? All of the philosophers said that, know thyself. So that concept, no, knowing thyself, so couple it with art, knowing oneself. I mean, Van Gogh said that, and but what does it really mean? But one thing I really learned in taking up philosophy is to question even yourself. No, yeah, like my truth before when I was younger was is different from my truth now. So it's constantly changing because you constantly investigate, you constantly negotiate with yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's basically
Hmm.
philosophy, always questioning, right?
Yeah. And you know what? I cannot do that outside of art. To philosophize outside of art, it's hard for me. I mean, I'm not a philosopher. I'm an artist. I can only philosophize when I'm doing art. I am I am dull when I'm not doing art. I am not myself when I'm doing art. I am happy with myself when I'm doing art. So this is where the philosophy of the narrative is happening. Outside of it, I don't know. I It's just confusion.
Yeah.
But I mean, amazingly, when I start holding the brush, I suddenly know who I am. I suddenly know where I'm going, and I feel beautiful. Amazing. I mean, I really believe in the power of art. I mean, this is really personal. I don't know with other artists, but this is my life. This is what I have come to understand.
And do you feel like when you're doing art, time just passes without you really noticing it, right? Is that
Yeah,
the
I don't really care about that. I don't have an 8 to 5 job, so I can sleep whatever I want. So I don't know. Oh my God, it's 11 a.m. na pala. I'm still awake. So it just passes.
And you mentioned there was a time before na you took up education. So was there a period na you did outside anything? Did anything
No,
outside of art?
while being an artist, I also um was thinking about how to sustain my art, no? So every now and then I would go to my alma mater Ateneo de Zamboanga, and I would take up load, teaching load. I would teach every now and then. I mean, I would take one sem and then I'm off again, and then they asked me if I didn't wanna like do a full time job as a teacher. They go, no, I won't be able to paint. So I always do part time. I'm just in and out. When I feel like it, I teach. When I don't feel like it. And then later on, I thought, now, okay, I can be an art teacher. So maybe work somewhere else or whatever. It's part of the human musings in life. Like you have art as your. I never saw art as my career. Art is my life. So hindi kasi siya career, no? So um as for career, I was considering na maybe, so that's why I took up education. No harm. It's also gonna add up my whatever knowledge, or I know it can and I wanted to be an art teacher or an art therapist. So I was thinking maybe I should take up guidance and counseling, and then I'll proceed to art therapy or whatever. But then all of that was forgotten when I went into filmmaking, because that was the new allure. Parang, oh, I'm curious about filmmaking. And then I suddenly forgot about becoming a teacher. So I passed the board exam, but I never used my license. I never taught again. So ngayon, I'm painting again.
Right. Okay, so you mentioned art therapy, and I also want to ask you about your movie. First, about your film. It's a short film, right? Where can
It's
we?
a short
Is
film.
it? Can we watch it in
You
YouTube,
know,
perhaps?
yeah, I'll give you a link after this,
Okay. Okay.
so you
Okay.
can it's surreal. It's a surreal, semi surreal drama. It's
Right.
a short surreal drama. So there's a mother. It's a story about my life. There's a mother in a studio painting, and then suddenly she hears a voice. But then the kid, the my son was a son. In the film, I made him into a girl, so it's a female child. So nagpipinta siya. The mother was in grief. Um, so she was painting, which was what happened to me when I lost my son. And then suddenly she hears a voice in the studio saying, "Can you make me a boat?" And then, so sabi ng nanay, "What did you say? Can you make me a boat?" And then they converse about the child. Sabi ng mother, like, "Where have you been?" So the child was telling her that she has been uh, in the sea. And ang daming mga bata doon. Doon kami sa malalim. Doon kami naliligo. And then meron kaming laro na dapat hindi ka matangay ng alon. Pero, sabi niya, kung may bangka na ako, then I don't need to fight against the waves, sabi niya. So she fell asleep in the studio and the mother made a boat. No, the mother painted a boat. So she devoted the whole night painting a boat for the child. So the child wakes up. Next scene, the child wakes up in the studio and sees the painting, but you don't see the painting. But you just know that the mother painted. So tiningnan niya yung painting, and the next scene was in the beach. The mother and the child was pulling a real boat, a small boat, which we really created. Kung anong nasa painting ng nanay, yun din ang ginawa naming boat na physical. So that's the second half of the film, no? In the beach, they're pulling a boat. Dinadala ng nanay sa tubig yung boat. And then they hug for the first time in the film and the last time maybe in life. She puts the child in the boat and she pushes her into the water. She pushes her sa sea. She's in the boat. She was happy. And then the film ends with her looking far away, but you don't see the boat in the ocean.
So I
And then
guess that's the metaphor of letting go, right?
letting go, or maybe the child will come back, or maybe there was really no child that visited in the studio. So dun sa yung production design namin sa beach, we installed big bird cutouts made of plywood na as tall as 8 feet. So may mga birds na inano namin sa sand. So suddenly the beach becomes a surreal setting. That is the world of the child. Yun yung mundo kung saan siya galing. So yun. So it's a simple film, but it really communicated the grief na maybe I experienced, also the love that I had and I still have.
Yeah, it's kind of hard talking about children, right? Like we really get kind of emotional about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to watching
Because
it.
I lost him in childbirth, full term, but I lost him in childbirth, so I never really
Oh, right.
experienced him.
Yeah, I promise I'll get to the art now. We talk about your art. Lastly na lang, are there any things that you do aside yung sa perhaps the visual art, the filming, any other activities that you do outside of painting that helps you better your art?
Um, I like organizing my space, my house. I I like doing some minimal gardening, and then I I like writing. I still do journaling, and then at the same time, right now, I with my friend, the one I was working with, sa film, we went into entrepreneurship. I don't know if you've heard about our calendario, the vintage calendar, because a lot of from Cebu people are buying yung black and white vintage calendar. So that's the product na meron kami. So
Right.
that's one of the projects din ngayon that I'm busy about.
Right. Yeah, I have to. Perhaps if you have images, you could also share them. I am curious about what it looks like though.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one will be on the exhibit, right?
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, the title of the show is The Personas versus Mihan Humalon.
Okay, so who comes
It's
up
an
with the
yeah,
title?
it's like a yeah, that's like a court hearing, like people of the Philippines versus the one accused.
Right.
Uh,
Were you
it's
the one who came up with the title for your exhibits? Does that
yeah,
work that way, right?
yeah, because prior to making this series, I was into crime movies, crime documentaries, true crime documentaries. So I was bored. I was getting inspiration. So that's where I was led to or led at. And so yun ang lumabas na okay, this one can be a case for whatever theme I want to tackle. So and then also um lately this is the narrative I feel that myself, I am under jury, under investigation by my inner whatever, inner self. So I feel that I am being judged by my inner whatever persona I have inside. I mean, all the different levels of self. It's asking, where are you at? What have you done? And is it good enough? So it's not the world who's putting me under interrogation, but it's my own self. I'm really like questioning ganon. So ito yung lumabas. That's why hence the personas versus yan naman. It's like all the voices inside asking. It's myself versus me. But then Mihan Humalon can also be a persona, one of the personas. But right now, this persona called Mihan Humalon is the one under investigation.
Right. So I can already imagine there would be characters in your art pieces that would confront you in those art in the
Okay, this one.
right.
Can you do it?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a woman seated at a long table and then it's cut yung long table. You don't know what's at the end of it, but you can imagine maybe there's another person, or maybe there's none, or maybe it's an empty feast, or it's an absent festival. But on the table, there's a seashell on a plate. I haven't really thought about it, but I just put it there. But maybe this work is talking about um what we leave behind and now it's staring back at us. Or maybe it's our old self that we no longer experience or use. Now it's staring back at us, waiting for us to eat it up or whatever. Or maybe at the end, because um when you dine, usually it's with someone. Or maybe I'm tackling relationships. Maybe I'm tackling love. Um, love God or dead or now just an empty shell. So the woman is alone in the red prairie, confronting the situation or herself. There's a load of solitude there. And who can't hear herself if there's this much solitude? So, what would the answer be to that particular question? We don't know. But you, as a viewer, you have your own answer to that question. So, really, my art is, I believe that the attraction, no, ng mga pieces ko. I mean, based on what strangers tell me, like you were once a stranger who just messaged me like, Mihan, I saw your work yet. And I get a lot of that. Every time I have a show here or there, I get random strangers, I mean, messaging me in Instagram telling me that I feel I saw your work and I feel that it's my story. I feel that it's my narrative. I feel that it's me. And I never intended my art to be that way. But then when I hear people say this, suddenly realize I have been successful as an artist because what I really want is to create paintings that will invite people to ask these existential questions about themselves. And it's happening. And I'm so happy about it. I mean, because I cannot create that. I cannot consciously create a painting. Okay, this will make people question themselves. You cannot do that. But then it just happens, and I'm so wow, that's magic. And magic in art is something that the artist cannot create consciously. It just happens when I think when the configuration just falls perfectly, when they all align, then it happens. Now, the challenge now for every artist having this eureka moment is to how do you maintain this? Well, let's throw away that question. Let's not try to maintain it. If it changes, it changes. But right now, I am enjoying what people say about my art.
Yeah, alam mo exactly because that was also there's a certain parang universality sa art
Hmm.
pieces mo that I think people could really connect to. Maybe there's something um subconscious na it really strikes something subconsciously that people can relate. And
So maybe, Lionel, so you question ko kanina na knowing oneself. So I think if you descend deep enough, you will meet humanity there. Like when you really descend into yourself, you will find that in the depth, we are all the same face and we are all experiencing the same or similar or this universal experience. So, yun ang nakita ko. Like, okay. So when you go into the self, everything is simple. There is just a woman sitting at a table in front of a shell. That is very simple. And once it's simple, anything simple is universal.
and
You
it's
strip, di
yeah,
ba? Like
that's
everything.
Buddhism, that's Eastern philosophy as well, di ba? Na
I
there's
told you it's in my blood.
right. But
I'm
alam
not
mo,
actively,
right.
yeah.
But alam mo that was when I was thinking about your when I reviewed your art and I was thinking tama no na I think it makes sense na there is something parang you wanted to create a scene with your art and I can tama na sinabi mo like this art piece in particular na parang kinat siya, it's like and there's a continuation. That's also something na I observed with your art pieces na parang it's a scene na minsan parang it's a parang putol siya yung scene, di ba? So it was telling a story and yeah, I guess doon nakita yung uh the thing that you did with visual arts with film, so it can also be seen dito sa mga paintings mo.
Are you saying that there are things concealed? I don't end the story. It's an open-ended story.
Yes, I can say so. Based sa mga nakita ko noon, there is definitely a story there, but I
Yeah.
think yeah, but I think well definitely it's a parang a part of a story, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where does the story begin and where does it end?
Right.
Diba? Who knows the end now? Even I, even you. So these are all snapshots of a whole sequence of stories. I'm giving use snapshots of like a film. It's a storyboard,
Yeah, exactly.
like
Like a film.
like a film.
Yeah. Pero yun nga, no, that's I guess that's really one thing that really fascinates people about your art kasi yung connectivity, and it just feels so deep, like the message that is inferred in your paintings. Yeah,
Actually, regarding message, no, I really don't have any message in. I mean, if you mean narrative or what, but if some people ask me like, what is the message of this story, or maybe they want to know what's the moral lesson. There's none. There's none. I am merely stating a state. Parang ganon.
Re-
So
yeah,
regarding message, I don't have any message. What I'm offering is possibility or the opportunity to feel. And the message actually is not given by me, it's given by my viewers. The ones looking at the painting, they're the ones making the message. They're the ones completing the story, which is so nice. That's again, it's a negotiation between your viewer and you, and between the your art and the viewer. It's when the art is when my artwork are in the gallery, it becomes what happens there is the artwork and the viewer also talking, just like me and my painting.
right, right,
So the viewer provides the message.
right.
I never said anything to my
Really?
viewer, and I'm so surprised when they come to me and they say this. And it's so good. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's magical.
Yeah, yun nga kasi even I was thinking na perhaps there's a way to read your paintings, especially yung interaction between these characters, like an iconographic way of reading it. But it's curious now that you said that it's really more about yung viewer that's creating his own message.
Yeah. I have a little mischief sometimes when I create my paintings, no. I do a mischief to myself. I put one figure and then I try to put a very things that you don't expect to be there. So I experiment sometimes. So I put what if I put a seashell here? Then what does it evoke? So that's the humor part on my part. No, when I do art making, so I'm really thrilled at how objects interact, and then what story they create if you put them together. But then I don't believe it's random. Kahit random yung intention, sometimes only. But I don't think it's random because I am guided by the subconscious. Diba? So when you're really deep into it, you're really looking at it seriously, you put anything there, it's because I think your mind somehow dictates it, or your heart or your feeling somehow dictates the seashell. So yun, that's the fun part there. So I put a seashell there, or I put a cut out rhinoceros in front of a woman. That's a different story. If I put it up, it's a different story. But it all communicates the internal story. So that's why I say I cannot direct the course. It's so biomorphic. The process of yung art making, how I start a painting, it's really biomorphic. Sometimes I put something here and then I erase and then put something there. Okay, now this one speaks to me. Now this one speaks of my inner life. So and I go on with that. If it doesn't, then I try again.
Yeah, now that you've explained it about that aspect, it makes sense na because I was going to ask you like what are like I was gonna ask you sana what are the meaning of this, like we can take examples of your paintings and ano ibig sabihin nito, how did you come up with the characters, etc. But now that you mentioned that it's more based on the subconscious, then it makes sense why it connects to so many people.
I'm not saying then na it's all subconscious, no?
Right.
Kasi the when you hold a pencil, you're just cerebral. mean, parang yung process kasi ng the creative process is really going in and out of of your conscious mind. Like you intend something and then you let the mysterious work. Alam mo yun, like, okay, consciously, I want, say, for example, bed in the painting, consciously. So you consciously put it there. Pero sometimes something else comes out. So you have to be able to discern also, or to be courageous enough to risk risk or to bet on an imagery. So minsan conscious, minsan things done consciously is so hard and it's so matigas siya. So take it out because it feels fake, it feels pretentious, and then you rely on something else. So it's really a dance again. It's a dance between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. Also, you have to allow the mysterious to work with you in the process. Kasi kahit nandyan na yung drawing sometimes, you still don't know where it's going, no? And then you let it go. You suspend conscious thinking and then just let the mysterious play. I don't know how to explain it, pero it really happens that way, like blindly. Sometimes I don't think when I paint, like especially when I'm doing the grass, and then I sit down and I look. Oh, okay, the conscious mind takes over. When you pull back and you look at it, it's the conscious mind that's taking over. Now the conscious mind is saying, okay, now this looks like a cliff. This looks like a now. How do you wanna enhance it or eradicate it? And then when you go again sa canvas, it's no longer the subconscious, it's the mysterious that's working. So the mysterious will do its job. And then you pull back again, then you see. But then sometimes I let the mysterious work, even though the conscious says not it's not good, but then you let the mysterious work. You let it stay. That's going to be good later. Parang ganon. So it's in that sense it's really fun and it's really dynamic yung our process. It looks like my process is very simple because it's like very serene lang yung nagpe-paint, but then still there is this the up and down, in and out, push and pull with what is knowable and what is unknown at that at a particular time. Yun, it's always a dance. It's like the waves. It's there and it's not there. You know it and then you don't know it. It's you have to welcome both if you wanna. I think if you wanna create a more true artwork, true to you.
Oh,
So ganun.
yeah. That's alam mo the way you explain it, that's probably the first time talaga na that parang in-depth explanation on how you create art. Like I said, I was following yung mga podcasts and they don't really explain it that way. But I guess yours it's such a case na parang it really goes down deep into the psyche and the mind, no? Which I like. I mean, it's something that always interest me yung part uh ng mind natin in a
Um,
philosophical sense.
Diba, they say that we only use this much percentage of the mind, and
Right.
then there's a lot that we don't know. And I think I recognize that you cannot direct everything. There are things that just happens because of the configuration you laid out. Kung nilatag mo lahat ng materials, kung nilatag mo lahat ng uh, consciously, no, yung all the elements, but then how they interact with each other or how they come out after, is that within your control? Pero yun na, our art making is control and uncontrol. It should, I think, I believe in that. I think that's really my principle, and I also get surprised at my paintings. Kasi yun nga, I don't always do it consciously, like with the conscious intention to put it there. So there are surprises that happens within the studio around. Okay, that's nice. I did not intend that to be there, but it's good. So there's also a lot of surprises happening.
Right. Can you say na your approach is something artists in general share, but maybe they're not able to articulate lang properly?
I think so because I really believe that no one, like a painter for example, no, at the particular time when he is creating, there is always this nasususpend talaga. Like even when we're studying, sometimes like when we're reading, di ba nasususpend? Sometimes we just forget where we are. Sometimes we just forget who we are or what time is it. So I don't think a human being can survive being very conscious all the time. There are times when merong suspension ng conscious cerebral mind, 'di ba? I mean, you have to let it happen in an architecture. Otherwise, you're gonna insist to put a building there where there's a tree. But then you allow the mysterious to work within you, and so you know that the building has to go around the tree. So yeah, um, I think that's how beauty works, or that I think that's how people should approach beauty.
Yeah. You know what? I was also planning to ask you talaga, like, how do you come up with even the colors sa paintings mo? Even like I'm a fan, even your horizon, I'm a fan of horizon, the color of the horizon, the color of your grass. Uh okay, maybe what
It's more conscious unconscious. Like, okay, the drawing or the main figure evokes this feeling in me. And then if it were a color, if it were a sound, what kind of sound would it be? What kind of color? So if you see, no, my paintings look very quiet, but then you hear a sound. You hear a sound in the painting. So if the sound, which cannot be seen, if the sound is a color, what would it be? So consciously, okay, you determine yung color. But then along the way, you also should allow kung kailangan niya magbago or what. Okay, say for example, okay, red. That then follow up questions to myself: what sort of red? What tone of red? Anong klaseng red? Anong value ng red? Is it light red or is it this part of the red? And then you just you let it all go, and then you let the mysterious work. Then it presents itself, then you follow. So ganon, it's not really like okay. But sometimes I look at other like pictures, photographs, no? I usually sometimes before I paint, I listen to music. So they also determine the color. Like a particular tone or a piece of a lyric also determines, I mean, people call it inspiration. Um, I call it determining factor. So this particular music calls for red or inspires red in the no. So sometimes I look at a photograph na kuha ng art photographer or whoever, and I like the palette, so I muse over it. What if this one goes there to the canvas? So sometimes I copy palette ng isang ano, I try to mix the same palette. So there's a lot. It's not just one road going there. It's a lot. I just welcome things. I let myself be touched. I allow myself be touched by whatever other art forms na I come across with. So be it music or poetry. Sometimes parang, this poetry is so yummy ang lines. This one this one has the color yellow, or this one has the color, or sometimes it also determines the subject matter. It determines the figure. It determines the no. So yun, like I'm a sponge. That's the only way I know how to do art. I I take the help of whatever other
Right.
creative.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to ask yung parang really objective questions like
I also
types of
like to look at photos of houses
right,
done beautifully. So I also get inspiration from architecture.
right,
Like, ang ganda nitong kulay ng bahay na ginamit, and then yung interior design and all. So everything makes me happy. I mean, these things make me happy
right.
and inspire me.
Okay, but I have to ask lang in terms of itong mga pieces mo. What led to the decision that yung setting niya is more on the grasslands?
It has always been in the grassland
Yes.
since baggage revolution. I don't know how I went into it. It just so happens that one painting I did, and then it has grass, and then I extended the grass, and then baggage revolution, that particular series in Cebu had a lot of pathways, no, pathways and grass. But now, I constricted um yung landscape. No, not much of pathways. It's just a patch of land, like a patch of clearing, but all around it is grass. So parang they're being choked by grass. So again, what do I want to communicate? So maybe I want to communicate dead ends. I want to communicate end of life, or no escape, or being this, being here, and there's no other path but this. So, or also I want to communicate pressure, um, the pressure of existence, the pressure of living in a society such as ours. So, kaya ganun. Kaya
Right,
siguro ganun.
right,
No more pathways. I did not give my figures a way out this time.
right. Yeah, because I guess I wanted to ask you yung you mentioned earlier you had a dream na yung the figures jump from the canvas. So
Oh,
I can imagine somehow that affected that also influence on your surrealist painting right now in a way. Parang it parang
yeah,
sa
I think
memory mo.
that that's when the figures in the painting started became my friends.
Right.
Yeah, it became me. They are my extension. So I feel like I know all these people. I feel like, I mean, they're my extension, so they're personas. So I feel like I know them. Yung mga tao I just feel that they're my friend. So they're also an entity. But another entity in the paintings, the grass is an entity. It has a human feeling. I mean, ito na ngayon kung tumitingin na lang ako, no? Maybe I'm just putting meaning in ano, but that's how I feel about the grass. The grass is an entity. The grass has a mind of and it feels. So hindi siya background, and it's not embellishment in the painting. It is a concept. It is an idea. Yung grass. It's like the human figures in the painting. So parang ganun din siya. And then a red prairie has a different attitude or behavior
Right.
than the blue prairie. They are all entities. They're as heavy as the figures, the human figures in the paintings.
Yeah. Yeah, it has just as much importance in the whole composition, right? I mean, not
Yeah.
only like in a technical sense, but in a meaningful way. Yeah.
Sense.
Mhm. Okay, so this one is a new painting, right? Or is this
It's
is this
still part of the exhibit.
nice?
So I'm no longer titling my work this time for this exhibit. I used to title it with one word. Uh, ngayon, because of the whole concept of the exhibit, each one is titled Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. It's like a snapshot of a of an event or a crime scene that you are visiting.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then this particular series is a bit not grim, but it delves before kasi the ones you saw are people just walking like a zombie, no? Um, sa big wide prairie. This one ngayon has hurt. It has pain. And yeah, I think it tackles pain. It tackles the hurt that maybe that is present. So medyo may small amount of violence in in the in the subject matter.
I'm curious, are you religious in any way? Because I know you have influences before na.
No.
You said something that came about during your existential crisis na period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, oh, humans are always thinking whenever something comes up. Say, is that it? So you get to. I mean, throughout your whole life, you just and question things. You question if this is good or not for you, or this is right. What is what they say correct? Is this really the path that you should be taking? How about this? Is this suddenly wrong? So I I'd like to believe that I approach life philosophically rather than through the lens of Christianity or whatever religion. I rather seek refuge in philosophy.
Alam mo, we have so much thing in common in terms sa yung ganun. Kasi I also want, well, I do approach things na in a philosophical sense.
Yeah.
Great to some degree. Well, Mian, I think based on conversation, I can already see na your mindset
Okay.
approaching your art. And it's like I can't ang hirap na magtanong ng questions because I know na your answer, well, in a good way, that your answer is going to be more about yung philosophical, and more about, I can already say now where you're headed in your art.
Yeah, yeah. Hindi ko mapasok-pasok yung art as career because ever since I became an artist, like when I was really young, and then my father was bombarding me with all the philosophical ideas about art. Art is philosophy. Art is life. Yung ganun. Hindi ko siya ngayon. I don't have a business-sided brain. In the business side, yung sa art, like treating art as a career, like, okay, how do I position myself in the art scene? I don't know how to do that. So it's really ingrained in me that art and your life is so intertwined that how can it be a career when it is bigger than a career? It is life. So in a sense that's good, but then it also has its downside. Kasi I really don't know how to position myself in the art scene. All I know is how to make paintings and how to make authentic paintings, like really genuine ones na that will hopefully uplift people or catapult people, my viewers, somewhere else other than where they are. That's all I know to do. But if you ask me, like, okay, how do you sell your art? Or uh, that's one thing I don't know. And that's one thing I cannot converse because I don't know. and I hate conversing about it.
Okay, one last question. When you mentioned that uh, it's what you want people to take from, is it something that consciously when you're making your art is always on your mind that
Oh, no,
no,
no. I think it's just a general desire,
right,
because this is my definition of art. Therefore, ito yung gusto kong effect ng painting ko. But of course, it's not always in the mind, because I believe that art should make people feel, rather than think. Or art is not a commodity. Uh, Even though it's a commodity piece, you can buy it, but it's beyond that. I mean, sure, you can buy it and put it in your house, but it doesn't stop there. Art should, you shouldn't forget that art is a tool to make you feel life, or to make you understand life, to make you love or see life in another angle or through another lens. That is the purpose of art, not to decorate your wall, not just to decorate your wall or to put your investment in. It's not. It's really thinking of art very little if you define art that way. So um so yun. What was your question again?
more on is it in on your mind about when you're making
Okay.
art na?
So it's really because yun nga, yun yung belief ko sa art, that any art should be able, or anyone should look at art like this, that it's an invitation, or it's a tool to feel. It's a new lens to look at the world. So the reason why it's good that art exists, it's because it helps us look at life in a different way. So yun, let's not forget about that. So yun ang belief ko, that art is like that. That's why yung ano ko, I don't have to think about that. I don't have to think about, okay, I will create paintings that will make people feel. I don't have to ano, that. It just is. So since from that definition na yung art is meant to help you transport yourself to another dimension. So using that, yun din ang binibigay ko sa art. I give myself so that when my viewer looks at my art, they also take themselves out of it. I give myself to put your soul or mind or feeling on canvas, in the hopes that when the viewer sees it, they also see themselves, because we're so alike. We're all alike. So, pero hindi ko alam yun. Hindi ko ginawa yun. Only when people tell me that, oh, I feel that you are talking about me in the paintings, then I felt that I have been successful as an artist if that's what you're telling me, that my paintings transport you somewhere else. Then that is my success as an artist. I was able to give you that magic by just being myself and bleeding myself on canvas. That's really magical. So I don't have to think about that. It's just it. It's the way I give and the way people get from my art. It's not intentional.
Yeah, and I guess to as parang to conclude no na parang it's almost self-contradictory that we're talking about it in a more like the way I am questioning you and the way I'm asking you to try to get information, it's almost self-contradictory na where that it's being approached in a more analytical way when there's really no purpose. It's hard to put into words yung purpose of it,
Yes,
right? It
yes.
should only
We try. We try to
yeah, we try.
to make it all intelligible.
Yep.
No, I mean that's human inclination. And how else do we try to understand things that's not readily understandable? It's by using logic and rationality. It's an attempt to understand things fully.
Or I guess our rational mind would like to, or just
That is why
yeah.
I try to not really consider the rational mind as even on the part ng viewer, no. This is conscious. I mean, consciously, I want this to happen as an effect ng art ko sa viewer. I want my paintings to make you feel more rather than think more. So if I am able to do that, then it's good. Because what I observe in the art scene, the artists like talking about what they paint, talking about their concept, making viewers understand. And sometimes what they say about their art is not in their art. It's all lip service. So there is a disconnect between what they want to paint and what is actually on canvas. So yun ang gustong mangyari ng mga artists minsan. They want people to understand their art piece on an intellectual level or cerebral level. Ah, hindi kasi um why else should I paint if I need to explain it to you? I mean, visual language is a language. It's not a spoken language, but it's a visual language. It's another form of language that requires you to see, be quiet, and see and feel. Kasi in everything, whatever we approach in life, observe. We feel first than think. So, yun yung gusto ko din when people look at my art. The moment they look at my paintings, they feel first. And when they go to me and ask me what the paintings are all about, I don't want to answer it because I want them to stay in the feeling and then perhaps come up with their own narrative because that's also true. I don't have the sole authority as to what my painting is all about. I have my story, but the viewers should be able to bring out their own stories when they look at my work. So, una talaga, my invitation with my paintings is to feel because no one is feeling anymore right now. Everyone in social media or wherever is asking, what does it mean? What is it? What is it? What is it? No one is asking why or why do I feel this way? It's always what. So we want objective answers. I don't want people coming in and then using their brain. But then apparently they don't. Because when they look at the paintings without even thinking or anything, I think first they feel. So there's instant invitation there, like, what do you feel? Is it the same? I mean, is it that way when you first saw my artwork? I mean, or did you think,
Oh, for sure. No, because when I approach art pieces naman talaga, I always find a connection with it. That's
okay,
like one of the things that for me yung I can gauge if it's a good art if I can make a connection. Yeah. And I would say, yeah, your art definitely has that aspect of it.
how did it make you feel? What was the emotions? I'm curious.
More on uh, introspection, like longing,
Mm-hmm.
not really sadness, but more on
Melancholy.
yes, yes,
Okay.
melancholy, definitely.
Mm. Okay. And then I want you to stay there. I mean, while looking at the work, I want people to stay there and just savor it. It's good.
Alam mo, that's one of the things na, again, I can say sa art mo, even some good art pieces na I can really stay there and just stare at it for a long time and just absorb it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You know what? It really makes me happy if people say that. I mean, I feel that I have succeeded as an artist. I don't know why. I mean, I put a really big value dun sa people are able to get in touch with their heart and just want to stay there. That's really valuable for me. And if you are able to do that through my art, then that's success. I mean, that's success for me. Diba? It's magic.
It's magic, definitely.